Meet Akkai Padmashali, a fierce advocate for the rights of gender minorities and the first ever transgender person from Karnataka to be part of a Supreme Court appointed committee. One of the most prominent faces of the transgender and intersex rights movement in the state, she was chosen to be part of a panel to formulate an equal opportunity policy for the protection of the rights of transgender persons. Has there been progress in the socio-economic conditions of the people from the community? What can the panel do for those who have been facing discrimination for long? Akkai tells us.
Akkai, you have become the first trans person from Karnataka to be part of the Supreme Court appointed committee to formulate an equal opportunity policy for the protection of the rights of transgender persons. And this is also first of its kind of committee where people from the gender minority communities are getting a representation. So how do you feel about this?
Thank you for posing that question, Shilpa. I'm so happy and I'm so fear and I'm so nervous because this is very huge committee and with so much of a huge responsibility, not talking for Karnataka state, but talking to the pan-India and representing the working class, non-English speaking, intersex people, the male to female transgenders, female to male transgenders, and Jogappas, Marladis, Shivshaktis, Jogtas, Aqua, Nirvana, Satlakotis, Panti Satlakotis, and gender non-conforming people, gender non-binary people. It's a diverse community under one umbrella, which has a huge specification from the context of culture, traditional, societal, as well as many other aspects of it. And each identity has its own politics of understanding. And how do we understand these identities to bring before the framework of the equal opportunity policies concerns very big challenging. And I hope that the Supreme Court of India, I think it has constituted under the Justice Asha Menon. I think it's a privilege to work under her guidance as well as in sharing platform with her, taking up this huge responsibility. Also builds so much of social responsibility on me. Apart from that, we also have Grace Banu as well as Vaijayanti, and I think this committee also has not included female to male sexual minorities, and we want to be that representation and also including the intersex people. I think we are going to be that inclusive of identities, have to approach the larger section of society that makes a sense of talking about equal representation for equal opportunities. Absolutely. I would say.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about the panel itself and its relevance? This is the first time there is a panel like this is being constituted where gender minority people are getting representation. So can you talk about the relevance of such a committee?
Yeah, I think this committee constitution has not come so easily because there's a whole struggle, there's a whole agitation, there's a whole amount of battles, barriers we as a community has gone through in India.
Yeah.
So much of violence and discrimination also we are facing as a community on the grounds of our sex, gender and sexualities is concerned. And most of the time as a movement, we all went and knocked the doors of the Supreme Court or the judiciary of this country because that is and that was the only hope for us to take it up this issue. Because the system of legislature, the question is which legislator speaks on behalf of sexual minorities, a big question.
Yeah.
And where are my political representation in the system of legislature, be it the parliament, be it the Lok Sabha or Raj Sabha or the state assemblies or the state councils. I should thank the system of judiciary in this country especially. This committee constitution, as I mentioned, many people have sacrificed their lives. Today, Supreme Court constituting a gender minority based committee under the leadership of Justice Asha Menon, this gives me so much of hopes.
Yeah.
This gave me so much of positivity and this gave me so much of sense of responsibility and the determination.
Yeah.
Because having said all of this, we need to reach the unreached section of society. As a sexual minority as a gender minority, we are as a section of society, yes. And if you see the whole nation, you can only see 20 to 30 faces as sexual minority representatives.
True.
But we are 10% of the country's population scientifically. Means almost 14 crores and plus. You got it?
Yeah.
In particularly about transgender population, it's almost 4 to 5 crores that we are part of this country. You got it?
Yeah.
So even though that the national enumeration of 2011, Dr. Manmohan Singh government was heading the nation, we were 4.87 lakhs as the transgender people who are part of this country.
Okay.
And this is to 2025. It's almost 10 times than the figure what we had in 2011. So now framing a policy, framing or drafting a equal opportunity policy is not so easy.
Absolutely.
So what is equality? What is equity? What is social justice and what is justice? And what is the so-called social discrimination we are facing? I think bringing up the context of the social, the economic, the cultural, the educational, the legal aspects and the very existence of identities. The 2014 NALSA versus Government of India, National Legal Services Authority versus Union of India, which recognized transgender community as equal citizens before Constitution of India. You got it? So to consider as equals, it took so much of centuries.
True.
And the question always is why?
Yeah.
Though many states have a very state policies concern, what is the status of the implementation is a big question mark.
Correct.
So there are several judgments, but the lacking of the implementation mechanism is very much lacking. So what is that lacking? We wanted to know. Why are the rulers of the state and the national authorities are not able to take it up as an issue? I think Justice Pardiwalas as well as Justice
Mahadevan.
Mahadevan verdict is so sensitive, is so sharpened to question back the system of non-implementation of this entire verdict is concerned. In particularly, it has spoken about every aspect of it: housing, education, employment, skill building, healthcare systems, non-acceptance of families, larger acceptance of social justice, many aspects of it, and this has really gave us so much of scope to work for the equal opportunity policy, I would say.
Yeah.
I think I take that liberty and accepted to be part of the committee. I'm so happy that I'm here. We want to look every other aspect of it, from the violence to the so-called discrimination to lack of opportunities, and how do you make so-called opportunity for people to access these benefits, social welfare schemes, programs, and I also want to talk about political representation for sexual minority, which is very much important.
Yeah.
This has been very much keenly observed in this judgment.
Yeah.
So I think we also, I think I was thinking to definitely have at least 2 days of national consultation of getting people together to share their respective states what exactly is going to happen. You got it. I think there are also mediums of levels of people to reach. Going to each and every district will be difficult. So are we going to make a state? Are we going to make a regional wise consultation? That's very big challenging. But as far as I think what I'm feeling and hoping so to have a 2 days consultation, get people together to speak about this issue. Especially the voiceless within the sexual minority community. And especially female-born sexual minorities have very lack of spaces. The intersex people have lack of spaces because the culture of hijra identity has a very public appearance, many other aspects of it. If you compare the hijras, the transgender, the jogapas and the so-called marladis have some public appearance actually.
Correct.
If you compare to the female-born sexual minorities, it's very lacking. The intersex people are very much lacking even within. So we want to bring up these voices to the mainstream and make sure there's an inclusive voices of people rather than having one dominant voices.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about your personal journey?
No, I'd be happy to share that because I also believe that being part of the feminist movement, being part of the accepted feminist and working class feminism issues, I would say that I strongly believe that personal is political.
Absolutely.
Political is public. I strongly believe that. From born a male to a transformed female to claiming as a woman and challenging the society is not so easy.
True.
From a male born to a beggar to sex worker to social activist is also not so easy. And from a male to a female identified and going for marriage, then going for adoption, then going for divorce is also not so easy.
True.
I think whatever this has come in with the so-called life, though, it is a challenge. You got it. I was sharing with you to getting an office space is not so easy. Because my brother Pradeep was here and he fought with my parents and got the office space here. You got it. We vacated more than 8 spaces in Bangalore to get the office. You got it. Because it's a social taboo. It's a social, phobia existing against transgender people and other sexual minorities are concerned. I think when I was realized I'm a feminine person at the age of 8 years, and I was decided not I'm a boy more. But from 8 to 16 years, hiding my identity as a woman or as a girl was so difficult. In this period, I tried to kill myself twice. 11th and 12th age, 2 times I attempted, and my brother who came and escaped me. When my second attempt, I tried to kill myself, and I went before the rope. I think my book speaks about all this journey. I went inside the rope and I came outside the rope and I was questioning the rope why I should die. I am perfect and you are not perfect.
Yeah.
So this you are not perfect built me so much of self challenge. So what? I am like this. So what? This is my voice. So what? This is my identity. So what? Your social construct is not accepting me, and this is what my social construct I want to build for myself.
Yeah.
So challenging each and every section of the orthodox, the patriarchy, the system of majoritarian, the totalitarian, the fundamentalism, the politics of exclusion. So I wanted to fight against this.
Yeah.
Going across the state of Karnataka, studying, talking to people, getting their sense of humor and bringing up to the activism is not so easy. I remember my community members, especially all the senior leaders who were part of this entire movement has really brought us here, because I was not forced to be a sex worker. I was not forced to be a beggar, but it was the lack of opportunity. And my dream, Shilpa, my ambition was to become a Supreme Court advocate.
Yeah.
That did not happen on paper.
Yeah.
That did not happen on the black court.
Yeah.
But it has happened now to be on the Supreme Court committee,
Yeah.
where I'm going to work with the judiciary and the system that has been part of the constitution. So this built me so much of hopes. 25 years ago, we did not have the space to come on the streets to walk so openly with so much of freedom.
Yeah.
People were throwing stones at us, eggs at us, tomatoes at us, cow dung at us. You got it?
Yeah.
You should not come outside. So they're very, very few in numbers. I would hardly say 50 to 100 people last 25 years ago. But today, we are a 1% of the state's population.
Yes.
We are 10% of the country's population. In transgender particularly, we are really 4% of this country's population. So this is what, because of the social acceptance is becoming so broad and large. So people are coming with self-confidence, saying, yes, I'm here and I'm so much proud and pride. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
At the same time, into 100%, there are still people who are behind the bars, behind the so-called trees or leaves, I would say, because of the non-acceptance of sexual minority. Until we eradicate the system of caste and class in this country, we also cannot eradicate the discrimination we are facing on the grounds of gender and sexuality. I feel so proud and proud to be, and from Jagadish to Astaishwarya Ghanasampane Doddamane Akkai was my name when I was doing sex work. And today I am known as Akkai Amma, and some people call me Akkai, and some people also call me Padma and Padmashali.
Okay.
And some people recognize this various recognitions. I think when the state governments confer, the national government I think the national confer from the Business Change Line Makers Award, which was conferred by Dr. Manmohan Singh.
Yeah.
There are so many awards that has come, but why social stigma is not eradicated.
Yeah.
You got it. Today's, I think what you mentioned, you are the face of sexual minorities. It is just the people's notion, but there are many people from the working class who have sacrificed their lives. I might be outspoken and vocal about this issue, and this is my style and I speak like this. People also have their own style to speak about this issue, but someone coming to the forefront, and we should speak for whatever that we stand. And we are not a anti-social elements, we are not anti-nationals, or we are not the so-called Naxalites, etc. We are human beings. We are born like this, we are transformed like this. Ashte. In the process of transformation, you cannot discriminate us.
Yes.
You cannot judge us. You cannot stigmatize us. We are like this, and accept the way we are. We are part of Ramayana, Mahabharata, Quran, Bible, all other sacred books that we are part of. And each and everything is spoken about inclusivity and not discrimination. And the so-called men-dominated people who are interpreting, the so-called interpretation of excluding people is against my constitution's morality. If there is no Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, we were really not, being so alive in this thing. And especially Karnataka as a state, we are having that freedom and the wisdom to celebrate and, being whatever we are today. But finally, until you address the social justice, the economic justice, you cannot bring the social justice at the forefront.
Absolutely. I just wanted to understand, you have been part and parcel of this movement. And what is your notion about things moving? Do you think things are moving in the right direction? Has there been changes, be it from judiciary, from the legislation, or just, you know, the mindset of the people? Do you see positive changes happening?
If you compare 25 years ago and now, yes, there's definitely change happening in a slow manner. If you compare the last 25 years, people did not have a voice or freedom of expression, right to mobility, and today we have everything of that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if our system of legislators are much more open, you got it.
Yeah.
How people discriminated my president of India because of a race, because she's a widow, many things.
Yeah.
Same way that's still existing. It also exists for the sexual minorities too.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
So until we do this activism to the so-called the larger society, it is difficult. But what I would say, until you have the political representation of sexual minorities in the system of legislature, that's what Ambedkar said. Until you enjoy your the political power, you can't bring any other changes.
Yeah.
Because it's a big weapon. And this today's existing politics has become so much of capitalist mode.
Yeah.
Politics means it's a business.
Yes.
Okay, for especially marginalized communities, it is not that. We only pray for the constitution's morality. That's what we are here. But yes, society is changing. Society should change. Upcoming society should be much more broader thinking and liberal to accept the way what we are today. And that can happen through this committee's report. Our Justice Asha Menon, who is going to head the committee, and we'll be working with her to take up the national issue and submitting the report to the Constitution's Supreme Court of India's Justice Paridwala and as well Justice Justice Mahadevanji.
Yeah.
We are going to do that.
Yes. Yeah. Let's hope for the best and hope that the best things come out of this panel. Thank you.
Thank you.